Don't try to sneak into your room like that. I know what you've got behind your back. Records. More new records.
This is the Estalon Extreme Mark II loudspeaker for the first time in North America. And we're also, for the first time in North America, demonstrating the Vitis Audio Masterpiece electronics. The amplifiers that we have here are the stereo Masterpiece amplifiers. They are Class A at 25 watts a channel into 8 ohms, Class AB at 500 watts a channel into 8 ohms. They have 3 independent 120 amp power inputs. They have a 2.2 kilowatt power supply for each channel with 1.1 farad of capacitance per channel.
Now, these are stereo amps that are strapped together, or
strapped for bridge mono? I mean, for mono. We're not strapping them. We're basically running biamp. Biamp. So they have left, right, and mono inputs. So they sum the left and right for the mono input. So we're running one channel for low pass, another channel for high pass on the speakers.
Okay, and so what do the speakers cost?
$269,000 a pair. The amplifiers are $115,000 each. It's a stereo amp, so people don't need to do what we're doing.
Right.
But here it's $230,000 for the pair.
Okay.
During COVID, we could only make analog products, and so it was not the funniest time for Joachim, who is in charge of digital. The only thing you could do was repair and fix and try to make things work. While Bent was having all the fun making analog stuff, so we had time to finally release a new preamplifier, analog power amplifier, and a phono stage. Something, I mean, I did not think the phono stage was going to be a success, and we had for 10, 12 years said we're never going to make a phono stage, and then COVID came and we couldn't make anything digital, so let's make a phono stage then. And then we have this, we're dealing with this store chain in Scandinavia with 82 stores in Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. And they said, yes, we want a phono stage because we only sell lo-fi and project, and we need a phono stage that's just a little bit better. So maybe it's something in the $400, $500 range. We go, we throw together a couple of op amps and a cabinet, and we have it. Then Bent sat at the home office, and he just went completely down the rabbit hole, and we ended up with the V10 that you've tried, and it wasn't $400 or $500, it was 3 times as much, and a quirky little thing, but it sounds phenomenal. And I still didn't think, we're not going to sell many of these, but we can keep it in the line for 10 years without a problem. But now, what do you know, it's one of the most selling items we have in number of units.
I thought it cost twice as much as you charged for it when I first reviewed it. I didn't know the price.
Let's go.
We're here in the render room with Michael Fremer, room 634 at AXPONA 2023, and we are looking at Orender's line of analog output network players here. These are digital source components with a DAC built in. You run your analog interconnect straight into your preamp, integrated amp, or even straight into a power amp, and you are very close to the top of the digital mountaintop here. As we move up the line, we get better power supplies, better DACs, and more outputs.
What are the price points?
They range from $6,300 for the A200 all the way up to $19,000 for the A30. And by the time we get to that level, we've got a dual mono DAC with an extremely precise clock running the system, a built-in CD ripping drive, and 10 terabytes of storage for your music library.
And so this is a CD drive?
Yes, so you pop a CD in there and it will rip the CD and add it to your library, and then it becomes a permanent fixture of your music collection.
Okay, and if you want to just play the CD without ripping it, can you do that too?
You do have to get ripped first.
Okay. I do that all the time when I review equipment. Did I say that? I'm sorry.
It's helpful, yeah. And then this, speaking of getting ripped, this is our ACS series. It stands for a Render Content Server. these are music library content creators designed as the musical mothership where your music library resides, and you can stream to other renders throughout the house if you have them, or they work as standalone digital transports that you can connect to your DAC.
Okay, so it's a totally different product than that.
Yeah, different. These have a different skill set. The A series are all really what you're getting there is a very nice DAC along with the render user experience and software. With these, we're getting content creators and CD ripping solutions.
So this is almost like just a storage drive system that can stream to the DAC. Right?
Yes, yeah, they've got really nice USB outputs that are designed to interface with the DAC.
Okay.
And then now we're in the N series. This is kind of a render's core product range. Starting with the N150, we get the same filtered and isolated USB audio output that we have all the way in the top of the line N30 SA. It's all about really nice, clean, low noise power supplies and filtered and isolated digital outputs. And as we move up the line here, we take that concept to higher and higher manifestations. By the time we get to the N20 and finally the N30 here, we've got all the noisy bits of the computer, the power supply, the screen circuitry, the LAN port, and this one chassis here, and then the sensitive audio outputs are housed in a separate chassis.
And so what are these two? What does the N20 cost?
N20 is $12,500.
Okay, and this is what?
This is 25.
Yeah, 25K. Okay.
Yep.
And this?
This is an MC20. So in digital audio, the clock is super important.
Yes.
You could almost compare it to the motor on a turntable. It's got to be running at a very precise frequency, and it's got to be rock solid, steady.
So this
no
is a clock
fluctuations.
that can run multiple products at the same time?
Yes, sir. So it's got 8 outputs, and it can interface with a variety of DACs and, of course, a render sources.
Can it wake you up in the morning? No? Okay, that's fine.
Schedule my wake-up call, 7:30.
Okay. And
That'll be in the next model.
And then this?
This is the new model. It's a pared-down version of that MC20, and it has the really important part, which is the rubidium clock module.
Right.
It omits 2 other OCXO clock modules, which have limited options in terms of what you can interface with.
And what
them.
does this cost?
This is going to be priced at $16,000.
And that's all you got?
I want to show you a new model, our
Okay.
AP20.
Who is she? Oh, I'm sorry.
So we've got we looked at renders with DACs, analog outputs. We
Right.
looked at renders with digital outputs.
Right.
Now I want to show you our latest creation, which is a render with speaker outputs. It's essentially an integrated amp with the whole render experience at its core, and it's truly a
That's
just add
this?
speakers solution.
So is this Class D amplification in there?
Yes, sir. The Purify amp modules, very, very fine power supply and output stages, and the preamp section and volume control is all analog R2R.
And what is this going to cost?
22.
And so you get this and a pair of speakers and you're done.
Yeah, it's got an analog input. That's a true analog pass-through, so you can run your phono stage into it without any A to D
awesome.
digital nastiness.
Oh, that's cool. And that's all you got to show me?
That's it.
That's great. Thanks for running me through this, because what I would have done by myself would have been meaningless.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And what you added is meaningful.
Good. I'm glad.
Okay, so
I'm glad
thank
to
you.
help. Thanks for stopping by our room.
Sure.
All right. This is the world debut of Ari Surratt's incredible 2-chassis IANA series Ithaca DAC. It's a 2-chassis DAC that's around 170 pounds per chassis. This is their brand new world debut. It'll be here. It'll be in Munich. And the crazy thing is it's a huge power supply. It has 48 AD1865 DAC chips running in an array. This is also the world debut of the Ari Surratt IANA series quintessence monoblock amplifiers. You'll see the top view of it. They're absolutely huge and incredible. And
Is it all tube or is it just tube input stage?
It's a hybrid.
Yeah, right.
Yep, it's a hybrid.
Okay.
And so is and this is the Agito 2-chassis pre. It's a Agito 2-chassis
And that's the
pre.
power supply.
This is the power supply.
And that's the
Right.
signal side of
Yep,
it. Okay.
the signal
And
side
what
of
is
it.
that wooden thing down there?
Oh, this is the World debut of the Apex grounding boxes.
Okay, that's the hippest new thing in audio today.
Yeah, and this grounding box is crazy. It's constrained layer design. It's solid copper cages inside.
It's a passive system.
It's a passive system.
Right.
But the most crazy thing is we use synthetic rubies, synthetic diamonds, elite shungite, just the most expensive ingredients in there. It's passive. It's actually pretty insane.
So speaking of insane, what is the total price of the preamp, the new DAC, and the amplifiers?
They're $84,000 per
box?
Per box. No, not per box, because everything's 2 boxes. That's $84,000 for the DAC. It's $84,000 for the preamps. $84,000 for the monoblocks.
Okay, this makes your job a lot easier because it's one price. Right?
Yeah, and that's why they did that.
It's like that insurance.
Consistent.
What's my insurance going to cost? $9.95.
Right.
Okay, and then when your husband dies, what do you get for it? $9.95.
Right.
Okay, great. Thank you. So tell me about these loudspeakers.
The monoacoustic stands for more natural. We're from South Korea. We're known for the aluminum enclosure, and it has a built-in decoupling mechanism.
Oh, okay.
Has a dual port, and dual ports has a different pressure setup, so it creates a very unique soundstage width and the depth to it. And the main drivers are manufactured in Germany. AMP tweeter is manufactured in the U.S.
Yep.
And all the other components are from South Korea. And so there's nothing hollow on the plates, and the column itself is a solid aluminum.
And so how low do these go? To about 35, 40?
No, 55 hertz,
Yeah.
but you can, the slope is very gentle, so you can actually feel close to the 30s. And also the wires inside to connect the networks, there's the same wire quality as the speaker cables from Sanctus Cable. So it's just 210 threads, 7-stranded wires. The core blend of the wire is magnesium, silver, and aluminum. And on the surface, it has a cover, copper covers outside.
Complex construction. And what do a pair of these speakers cost?
$6,500 a pair, including stands. And the little one, Superman Mini, that's a 2.5-way isobaric speaker. It has an AMT tweeter, 4-inch Mark Fallon driver, and it costs $2,000 a pair.
Oh, okay.
It only goes down to 65 hertz, but it has a very clear mid and transparency. So if you add a subwoofer, it would really complement to have a full.
And what are the
range.
efficiencies of these two speakers?
91 dB on the Platinum,
Okay, that's
and
easy.
87 dB on
Right.
the
Okay.
Superman Mini.
Great. And do you have American distribution at this point? Or
Yes, so we have a distributor in LA, and we sell direct, as well as we are acquiring more dealers at this point. So
Great. Thank you.
There's no other love. There's no love. Solitary brother. Is there still a part of you that wants to live?
This is industry veteran Rich Mays, I've known for many, many years. So, Rich, what do you got here?
So we have a little system put together with Chario loudspeakers, Aluxity Electronics, and Siltec cabling with the new AMG Giro turntable.
This is a new Giro turntable?
Mm-hmm. It's a new revision. I don't know much about it other than there's a new bearing and the drive system is a bit different.
And do you know what this costs?
The table is $11,500.
With the arm? With the arm?
With the arm,
Okay.
and the cartridge we're using a Benz glider for $3,500.
Okay. And the Charios. So, what does this whole system cost?
The speakers are $8,400. The amplifier is $9,600. The preamplifier is $11,500, and the cables will vary by length. So
Of course.
they're kind of hard to price.
And you're using a Boulder phono preamp. That's the.
Yeah, it's you can't escape the heritage.
No, why would you? All right.
No, it's an old 1008.
And you know what? I'll say that the people that own Chariot are the nicest people I've met them in Italy. Nice people. The same people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Charlie and Mario.
Yeah. Nice people. And Super Mario. They have a video game. Okay. This is the Ultra Carbon record weight.
Ultra Carbon, machined out of solid stainless steel. It's got layers of carbon fiber on the top and the bottom. Weighs just under 2 pounds. So you need a rather substantial bearing for.
Yeah.
There is an aluminum version that's lighter. This one comes in black. They're also available in raw machined stainless steel.
And what does that cost?
$275.
Oh, that's very reasonable. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the aluminum one is about $250.
And where are these available through?
We have dealers all over the United States and Canada, so they're everywhere.
Great. Okay, thank you, Rich.
You're welcome.
Okay, here's a Riga P6, and this is the secret sauce in the Riga line as far as I'm concerned. This is the real sweet spot, as good as the P3 is. This is a huge step up from the P3, and it's very close to the P8. It's very close. That plinth is not MDF. It's actually similar kind of foam material that's used on the more expensive ones, just not cut away. And we're going to have a review of this very shortly on trackingangle.com.
These people have been repairing and modifying and making parts for Accuphase for years, and then they decided to start making their own with their own modifications. And so it's like Accuphase 2.0, the good things of Accuphase, and then they fix the bad things of Accuphase, and they're just fantastic, phenomenal bottom end to them. Also very easy to drive.
Yeah. I saw them in the Florida show.
That's right.
But I want to show people that didn't see that show report.
So we're using these are the minuets, 33,000 a pair.
Okay.
We're driving with the new Hagel H30A, our reference amplifier, which is $18,995, 300 watts per channel in the stereo, stable at half an ohm, 1,100 watts in the mono for people that want to double up, and at 1 ohm in mono, they do over 8,000 watts a channel. We have the P30A, our new reference preamplifier, $8,995, pure analog. And we're feeding that with one of our older DACs, since we don't have a current DAC out there, the HD30. Still very musical, very current. That's the chain that's going on. We're using all the Shinyata power conditioning and grounding devices, which are just phenomenal.
Yep.
I don't know the prices on them, but they supplied all the cables, all the interconnects, and just fabulous. Second time we got to work with this company, it's been fantastic. And then the turntable is super cool. One little feature I told Michael about, its vertebrae, is this little doodiggy here, spindle as we call it. The top of the spindle, you put the record on top, and what they told me, it's so simple, I feel stupid not realizing it, is you put the record on, and this is coupling to the record, so the record's actually coupling to the spindle. It's going down to the bearings where the most vibration is. So they put the record on, lift the cap off, and the record is free, just floating on the platter.
Yep.
I mean, what a great isolation. So we're thrilled to have all these partners. This is $13,800, I believe.
Okay.
And I think that kind of covers it.
Well, it sounded great in this room. I played that lacquer that I brought. It sounded fantastic.
That was fantastic. Thank you for that treat.
You bet.
This is the Montrose Heirloom turntable with a CB Schroeder CB tone arm and a Sculpture A cartridge. It's a Denon 103R that has been completely stripped down and then rebuilt 100%. And I love it. It's a phenomenal cartridge. So this is our 30-pound brass platter. And then on top of that is a collaborative project I did with Part-Time Audiophile. They commissioned a whole bunch of new record weights for them.
Oh, cool.
800 grams and solid bronze. And then we have the linear tube audio Z40 and the Weiss stack. And Right now we're listening to the Raven 2 speakers, which are sealed boxes, and those in the back are the Raven 3s, and they're ported. And then we have Black Cat cables, and I've been helping Chris Somovigo's family work on the cable company after he passed away. So we've got it running again.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And who's the family's running it, or you're
The family's running it, and I'm helping. I'm doing some consulting with
Excellent.
You can call me Queen.
Say it again.
Yes, you're listening to our Wathen audiophile cubes right now, the small cubes, sealed speaker, two-way with a passive radiator on the bottom.
You take this, turn it down. Let's talk, because otherwise, you know what's going to happen. Brian Ferry's publisher is going to block this video. That's what happens.
Is it really?
Yeah, some of them say, okay, we'll take over monetization of your site for some, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But some of them block it, or we don't want anybody hearing our music.
It's so weird.
Stupid idiots. Okay.
Well, in this day and age, too.
Speak to Brian Eno, it's good.
We actually are buddies with Eno. So we have our Cambridge Audio MXN10. This retails at $500.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the latest entry into our streaming platform. And what this gives you is, through our Stream Magic app, you can access your Tidal account, your Spotify account, your Qobuz account. You can access
Your bank account? No.
Well, we're working on it. We're working on it.
Okay.
You can't access your bank account, but it sure is easy on it.
And we can.
Hey, that's good. Hey, who came up with that? Hey, give that man a raise.
You threw.
You heard it, sir.
Okay, so let's go. We're on camera here.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to edit you at all.
This is good. No, this is good. This is good.
Keep going, man. You can't keep going. Okay.
Tidal, Qobuz, Spotify. We can do Tidal Connect, Spotify Connect. It also does Bluetooth as well with aptX, so 1644 quality. AirPlay 2, Qobuz as well. Has an analog out to go into maybe an integrated amplifier. That's an older one.
Okay.
This is a 15 to 20-year-old Cambridge amp. What we're trying to show here is how you can easily and affordably elevate your vintage system.
Right.
At $500. So it also has a digital out if you want to go into another app as well, another DAC as well. Excuse me.
Great. Okay, $500. All right, so now we're in the Cambridge Audio in the other room.
This is a bit of a pet project for me in that this is my Desk Fi setup at home. So I have our MXN10 streamer going into our DAC Magic 200 digital to analog converter with a really healthy headphone stage on it that I use with my Odyssey headphones.
Oh. What does that setup cost right there?
$1,050 total.
Including the wooden case? No.
I built that. Well, I had a friend of mine who's a woodworker, and he built that custom for me.
Nice. It's a nice
thank you so much.
presentation,
Yeah, I was turned out even better than I had hoped.
Cool. Okay, and this, I think I covered this already.
You did. So this is our Alva TT V2 turntable.
Yep.
Moving coil cartridge, built-in phono stage, and aptX Bluetooth. Both are defeatable. With this particular case scenario, I wanted to show off our Alva Duo phono stage because it's one of the few, if not only ones, that also has headphone stage as well.
And that costs how much?
$349.
$349. Oh, the prices are fantastic. What does this cost again?
This retails at $19.99.
Great. All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
These guys have a what appears to be this is a demagnetizer.
No, flattener.
Oh, this is a flattener.
Yeah, it's a used vacuum.
Oh.
Yeah.
And does it really flatten?
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
No heat?
With heat.
With heat.
Yeah.
How much does this cost?
$2,500.
And you leave it on there for how long?
Yeah. And you put we have both sides heating, so.
Okay.
Then you program.
Oh, cool. And how long does it go for?
1.5 hours and 2 hours and 2.5 hours.
Three or is it in three different?
Yeah, 3 different times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to review this. Is that possible to get a
Yeah.
review of this? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'll give you my card.
Okay.
that cost?
This one, 2,500 for the Tonga.
2,500.
Yeah.
So you're pricing everything at $2,500.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it easy, right?
Yeah.
What's that called?
Huh?
What is the name of that arm?
This one, Viola.
Viola?
Yeah.
Great. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so this is a setup of the Hill Plasmatronic tweeter.
Now you've got to
So it's a plasma tweeter, and it's powered by, I guess, helium. I guess it's doing.
just as you
Is that wife friendly? I don't think so, but that's not the point of this. The point of this is to let you hear this Hill Plasma tweeter, which is famous in our business. With some eminent technology, planar magnetic speakers otherwise. So you're an industry veteran. What are you showing at this show at AXPONA?
I'm now promoting other brands instead of Magnapan.
Really?
I thought I'd try something different.
Are you being serious or facetious?
No, I'm serious.
But you're still with Magnapan.
But look,
You still...
well, yes, but I want to find something more interesting, and create some controversy. I mean, I can't match you in terms of controversy.
Well, I think it's pretty controversial to be working for Magnapan and showing other brands of products. That's pretty. It's like it's like it's like me saying I'm with the Absolute Sound now instead of the other magazine. Oh wait, I am with that magazine. Okay, so now what's here?
Well, I'm now selling Martin Logans. Seriously, that is the ethos.
You as Magnapan.
Yes, I'm promoting other brands. I'm not talking about Magnapan at this show. I decided to try something. I've never done this in 50 years.
Who else has done anything like this? Nobody's done anything like this.
Well, but I'm kind of retired.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe I'm a little bit of a loose cannon. So I thought I want to do something different.
Okay, but you still work for Magnapan?
Yeah,
all?
yeah.
You do.
They pay me.
Okay, so now and they're okay with this?
Well,
would you be okay with this if you were owning Magnapan and your employer was showing another product? I don't think so. Okay.
I want to talk about a concept, not a product.
What's the concept?
This is, you're aware of the Janssen 9.5. I call it the new KLH9, which was my first oh my God experience when I was in college.
Right. Yep.
So I thought, this new technology it's well known. When you talk to Sandy Gross or Gail Sanders,
sure,
it's well known. And in fact, David Janssen talks about this on his website about his 9.5.
Yeah.
That these new generation of ultra fast small woofers operated in dipole fashion replicate what a big electrostatic or ribbon base panel will do.
What you're saying is that they blend. They're fast enough to blend with the speed.
They go out to 10 kilohertz, so incredibly fast.
Yeah.
So then the concept is because there's technology. I mean, this is actually an old idea, but because we've got the technologies now of DSP, Class D amplifier, and these super wideband drivers.
Okay.
Let's operate them in a dipole fashion, in a line array.
Okay.
And what you get, as David Janssen will explain, and others, is you get something that is small, and in this case, these prototypes of ours, they can fit behind a couch. Well, there's eight woofers, very, very fast woofers.
So the woofer in the Martin Logan is just doing mid bass, and you're
no. See, there's no woofer in it.
Oh, you took the woofer out.
Yeah.
Oh, don't hold back. I have to understand this stuff.
No, this is crazy. But no, the point is, this is a concept. So since the Martin Logan is the best known panel speaker on the market, thanks to Magnolia, Best Buy Magnolia, why not use a Martin Logan?
I got you. Okay, so you're driving the Martin Logan with the tube amp, and you're driving the subwoofer with the Class D amplifier built into.
No, I'm using the Shit Vidar.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But it's it's a cost-effective. It could be Class D. The new Class D amps.
I don't care. Whatever it is, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to play for me now.
That's correct.
Then let's do that.
Okay.
I'm turning this off now. Anything else you want to say about this?
Well, because this is a
prototype.
We're unlisted and we're not in the directory.
Okay.
And this is the invitation to the press to set up, hear it on their own grounds. I'm going to play an orchestra.
Good.
Well, no, an orchestra is what I've used in the past. Audiophiles come, when we had an open door type demo, they would come, they loved it so much, they wouldn't leave.
Okay, I'll leave. I have so much to do. So play.
No, I would use it to get customer attendees to leave. Let's play classical music.
Okay, I love classical music, so we're good.
Oh, so you probably won't leave then.
I still have to leave. I'm so busy. Play something for me. I can't sit for a whole symphony. I can't even sit for a whole movement.
Okay, well.
They never understand. I'm living, it's so easy. There's nothing in life, nothing in life.
So the speakers that we're looking at are the
Wolf von Lange Sohns. They're field coil dipoles from Germany. They are quite sensitive. They're 94 dB, 1 watt, 1 meter. They're flat 8 ohms. We're listening to a New Audio Frontiers 211 stereo amplifier. It makes 20 watts.
And where's that manufactured?
Those are from Italy. The phono preamplifier is from Konus Audio in Bosnia. It's a current input design. It's fantastic. The turntable is a TW Acoustic Raven GT2 from Germany. The arms are TW Acoustic 10.5s, and the cartridge is a Stein Music Aventurin 6.
You know that well. I've reviewed that.
Yeah.
Do you get musician traffic coming in and listening to this?
Yeah.
And they dig it?
There's Nashville's a connected town, so.
Yeah, cool. That's great.
Michael, let me know if I can answer any questions. How are you, Mr. Analog?
I'm good. Now, can you tell me what's in this room?
This room is a pure fidelity turntable.
Right.
A Bryston CD player, a Bryston pre-DAC streamer, a Claris line conditioner, a Bryston 4B power amplifier, and the Totem acoustic metal V2 loudspeakers.
We have Moderate Electronics. We're using a name streamer with a Rune back end. We're using a VPI table.
Like a classic.
Yep. Okay. Hana. Unami Red.
Right.
We're using Alta Audio Atom loudspeakers.
Okay.
And that's the room.
And you're bringing the whole thing in for with the cables for a price point of what?
For the entire room?
Like approximately.
100,000.
Okay, so this is the same model that you had, the sweet vinyl, but you've finished all of the functionality.
Exactly, and it's in full production and fully debugged.
The SC2, and what does this cost now?
4,000.
4,000, a finished mature product.
Yeah, for the top of the line one.
It's so mature it's retiring to Florida next week. But okay, so all the functionality is now working.
Yes.
Okay.
And then so the SC1 is 3,000. SC1 plus.
Okay, and where's that one? It's over here.
It's on the table behind us, but it's.
It's the same thing, just smaller form.
Okay, same thing, just smaller.
And then the SC1 Mini, this is the mini phono with a moving coil and moving magnet phono stage, which we think sounds pretty good. We're using it with an Ortophon Quintet Black on this table.
Nice cartridge.
It's very nice, and you can be delighted to play that for you.
And what else does this have? I mean, the mini phono preamp. It's not just a phono preamp.
It's a sugar cube and a phono preamp in one box. Okay. And this really addresses the problem of integrated amps. They have taken away the line in, line out, or the record loop.
Right.
And so people who own the popular Macintosh can't use our sugar cube with the built-in phono stage of the Mac. So with this, we get an excellent phono stage, and it just plugs into the line in.
And that costs how much?
This is $22.50.
Oh, great.
And without the phono stage, it's $1,500.
Oh, cool.
But
Okay.
you were asking, The Plus model basically has the ability to do surface noise reduction, and it has digital functions. So if you actually took over to the screen right here, Leo could walk you through what a...
Oh my God.
On the right hand, I probably should put this away so it's not confusing. On the right hand...
It'll still be confusing to me, just who I am. Okay.
So you can plug in a Macintosh or a Windows computer to the port on the back of the Plus machine. When you put it in external mode, your computer now takes over the sugar cube, and it becomes an ADC and a DAC for your workstation, just like having a Lyra Lynx or Universal Audio ADC DAC pair. And then in addition to that, you can then use the sugar cube internally to put it in series with your workstation by clicking repair record. The sugar cube is now part of the loop, and so as the audio comes in, it gets digitized, it passes through the sugar cube processing, click and pop removal, surface noise reduction digitally. It doesn't have to go to analog and back to digital.
Oh.
So it passes through and then into your Mac or your Windows workstation. So if you're
that's very
recording
cool.
with, right, so if you're using, like, say, Vinyl Studio and you're doing lots and lots of recording,
Yeah.
you can remove clicks and pops on the way in,
Oh.
or do what you do, I would be.
Oh my God, the way I do it is like one click at a time, in Audacity. That's what I do.
Wow. So then the other way is to repair playback. So you record raw, and your database, your recordings in your music database are always right from the needle. Then when you play back, it plays back digitally through the sugar cube to our DAC and then out to your system.
Wow.
And usually the way archivists...
I'm glad I waited. I may have to buy one of these now.
I'd be delighted to show you more. Or you can just hit external mode and turn that off, and it's just a DAC and an ADC and doing nothing else.
Right.
And it stays in your system, and you don't have to unplug or reroute anything.
Oh, this is really good.
Good. And then one more thing it will do for you. In bypass mode, it drops out of your system. It's just line in to line out through an audiophile grade relay. But you can also bridge. And this is a high impedance bridge listening to your line in, passing it down through the system to your sugar cube. You could record while you listen without passing through the sugar cube at all. And then or feed to your workstation while you listen to the pure signal.
So to get all of this accomplished, which was your dream, it took how many years?
Like 5.
You don't want to say?
Go about 5.
About 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, along the way, but yeah.
So is it now a finished mature? Now you're done with this product.
And now you can't get components.
I mean,
almost. We're working on a low-cost version.
Okay, but I mean, this ultimate product is the finished product.
Yes.
Are you happy with your finished product?
Very happy.
And you're happy you're done with your finished product?
Yes, I'm happy about that too.
Excellent.
Just a brief interruption, esteemed viewers. As you may know, I'm Tom Martin, Chief Content Officer of The Absolute Sound. We have a new product. It's on the Substack platform, and we're going to do some interesting things with Substack. First of which is reader questions and answers. Each Monday, readers will submit questions. We'll pick the most interesting ones and we'll answer the questions on Friday. We'll also have early access to articles and special blogs that don't appear anywhere else. We hope you'll join us. It's only a cost of a cup of coffee per month. Just check on the screen or in the show notes below. Thanks. And now back to the show.
Play some content. So what we're showing here is the Bella series of speakers that we offer. So within the ELEC lineup of products, we have multiple series of products. We have everything from our entry-level debut series all the way up to our Concentra series. The Concentra being our flagship series, which top out at about $85,000 a pair for some towers, where the debut, of course, starts off at about $279 for a pair of bookshelves. The Vela line sits just below the top end, the Concentra ones, but they start at a more affordable. The Vela series is by far our most popular premium speaker that we do. Bookshelves start at around $2,900 a pair, where these towers sell for $2,900 each. And the tower, the FS47, is a 2.5-way floor standard. It uses the same Jet 5C air motion transformer that we use on our big Concentra speakers. The speakers that we're known for, we OEM them to Porsche. They're used in all the Porsche cars that use the Burmester audio system. They're used in Bugattis and the Veyron, so it's a very popular version of the tweeter, still handmade in Germany, still hand folded. We have 4 full-time employees. That's all they do. Use a jig and fold the tweeter back and forth. And then we have 2 6-inch drivers to complement it. The top 6-inch driver is handling our upper mid-range, and then the lower driver is handling the lower mid-range and bass duties. The speaker itself is ported. It's ported out of the back as well as from the bottom of the cabinet. We're driving everything with our Alchemy series electronics. We have our DDP2, which is a preamp DAC and a streamer. We have a little room music over there on the counter, driving content to here. And then below this, we have two of our DPA2 amplifiers. They're 350 watts into stereo, and in mono, they're about 500 watts. So we're running 500 watts to speaker. Way too much, but those are the amplifiers that we make. There's also two large subs in the room. Now the subs are going to be off. I'm going to leave them off for the first couple of tracks, but we want to show that even though these speakers play down fairly well, there's a lot of energy at lower frequencies that most towers, unless you buy a really big, can't reproduce. And part of the problem with trying to introduce a sub into a stereo system is matching them well, not only to the speakers, but to the room. To the room, we've been able to solve with a very cool feature that I'll show you. The auto EQs the subwoofer into the room, and then matching was a little bit of playing. But I did the whole thing in about 45 minutes. Where I thought it sounded good. Then I went and grabbed some other people that I know are better at me at listening to have confirm, and they were like, "Yes, you did a good job." So that was nice. But we'll play a few tracks without the subs. Then I'll bring them on. I'll let you guys listen to them. You can hear with some of the information that the speakers can't reproduce, but the sub can do it very well, I think.
On a pitch black night, then I'm telling myself it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be.
Yes, and you visited us at Audio Device Live last year.
It was a great event.
It was a fantastic event, but I wanted to make sure that I took the time to thank you because your presence there was incredible. I think that it's important to make sure that you know how much of an impact that was, how much it meant to us. So
I appreciate
thank you for
that.
Very much.
I'll try to come this year too.
You know what? If you can make it, you tell me.
Okay, we'll see if I can. All right, thank you.
But remember, brothers and sisters,
this is my design.
Way down in the hole, he's got the fire and the fury. I'd be better off with someone I'll take back. Won't you let me take you back? I told you that I didn't need you. Can't you see that, baby?
All right, we're in the Quintessence Audio room here at AXPONA 2023, and they're a Chicago retailer, right?
Yes.
Okay, and in this room we have here, which clear audio turntable is this?
This is the Reference Jubilee turntable.
The Reference Jubilee turntable, and you have the new DS Audio. What is it called?
Grandmaster EX or Extreme.
The Grandmaster, the Extreme. All right, so this is the brand new cartridge. This is $22,000 cartridge, right?
$22,500.
Yeah, and it's got the diamond cantilever stylus all in one that I wrote about on another cartridge, and we have the D'Agostino. Which preamp is this?
The Momentum HD.
The Momentum HD, and the Phono preamp. That's the same one I reviewed, probably updated at some point since I reviewed it in the last century. And all right, and then we have the Wilson XVXs, which I'm extremely familiar with. Oh no, these are the Alex V's, right? Yeah. See, that is definitely what happens when you haven't had your coffee yet. And which amplifiers are these?
Those are the Momentum M400 MX.
Momentum M400. So we're talking about a modestly priced system.
Entry level.
I mean, entry level in the picture of super high-end audio. I mean, we're not trying to insult anybody by saying this is modestly priced. But in the world of extreme high-end audio, it's fairly modest. Now, what we're going to play that you can't, actually, I could play this and you could hear some of it. This is a lacquer of Patrick Leonard's new record that's going to come out soon. And Patrick Leonard, most of you know, many of you know, produced Amused to Death with Roger Waters and produced the last 3 Leonard Cohen records. And he came to me to help him do the vinyl version of this. And I have these freshly cut acetates. So we're going to hear side 2 of record 1. And let's do it.
Not 6 billion voices trying to speak as one. We're not the virus, not the news. We're not the smoking gun. We could be distant stars exploding in the night. Those messianic portraits, those great battles of the light. Gather round, boys and girls, gonna tell you a story about a sad-ass world. No one knows how it started, like the oyster and the pearl. The sad-ass world.
It was an answer.
Yes, Cliff Duffy, Access Audio.
You're taking the show over?
Yes,
from Arturo. Fantastic. And pleasure to meet you. Oh, pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We're handing out cards. I'll give up my cards at the end. Oh, pleasure to meet you. Yeah.
From Accuphase. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Sakakibara from Nihon Engineering.
Ah, nice to meet you. Do I have to remember all of your names and tell it? I don't think I can do that.
I'm Kenta, Nihon Engineering.
Oh, cool.
Michael, they're
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
They're the ones, Michael, who do the diffuser panels.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now we have more cards. Wait, let me get my cards out. I brought cards actually. So this is my the Absolute Sound card. I'm just handing them out. And this is my website card.
Oh, yeah.
But either one of them works. You put it in the machine and the money comes out. Thank you so much.
You have Andre.
Hi, Andre. Nice to meet you.
You see, there are much more exhibitors than you.
I have a treat to play for you. I'm going to play something special.
Great.
So, you know Roger Waters' Amused to Death record? So that was produced by Patrick Leonard. He produced that. He produced the last 3 Leonard Cohen albums, and he's putting a new record out on vinyl. Anyway, so Chris Bellman cut the lacquers a couple of days ago, and it was plated at RTI, and they cut some reference acetates for me to bring to the show, and Patrick said, sure, play them around the show, let people hear the record. So let's play a little bit of side B.
Side B?
Good.
Yeah, that turntable really intrigues me.
Yeah, we'll can send it to you after the show.
What cartridge is on there?
The Opus, airtight Opus.
Oh, cool.
Which I think you have one somewhere in your collection.
Where's the best seat? Right here.
Definitely. Yeah,
Okay,
right
you
there
take
in
that.
the
It's
middle.
yours.
No, please. Okay. We want you to hear the turntable. I will enjoy the music nonetheless.
Okay. Your mic. So, Mr. Isaac Markowitz, you wear multiple hats in this business. You're with, what's the name of your nibs?
Mibs.
Mibs. It's like nibs. Mibs. That's your cartridge importing business.
Yeah, for Lyra,
and you
right.
also work for this gentleman here at Acora Acoustics?
Yeah, my privilege is to be the Director of Sales and Marketing for Oracle Delphi Mark 7, so the latest upgrade with the turbo power supply. This is the debut of the new Reference 1 tone arm as well.
Yes, which is reviewed on my website, trackingangle.com. We have a review by Dave McNeilis up there. Okay.
It is fitted with the excellent Atlas Lambda cartridge, so the
Yes.
current iteration. Fabulous VAC. So we have the VAC statement phono pre, and then the VAC statement line stage, driving the VAC statement 452 IQs.
I reviewed those, I believe.
Yeah, they're really fabulous. I think they're one of those components that, like CH, makes music first.
Yes.
And asks questions about topology later.
And these are, of course, the stars of the show right
The stars of the show. So this is the new reference, the VRC, named after Valerio himself. And the flagship design is a true three-way, adhering to the three principles of Acora. Making sure that we have a lifetime heirloom quality cabinet. It's extremely inert. In this case, it's a blue pearl granite. We make sure that we use bespoke parts for the crossover with no consumables directly in the signal path so that they will last for a lifetime as well. And finally, making sure that we choose the right drivers to complement what the goals and ambitions of the loudspeaker would be. And so all of these parts, of course, come together to be more than any of their individual components.
Okay. I think that's sufficient for our purposes. You talking?
Yeah, the device on the top, the black device, is the Exosound S82 Mark II. What is new about it is that it has a built-in room core now with its own internal SSD storage. The value proposition on this one is to offer the quality of three discrete digital devices, DAC, streamer, and server, while having the simplicity of one box, the easiness of use of one box.
How much does this cost?
This is $7,600.
Okay, and the name of the company is?
The name of the company is Exosound.
How do you Exosound? I see it down there.
Now, when you put server and DAC in the same box, usually in the mind of audiophiles, this is associated with lowering the quality. Not the case with this device. To keep the noise level down, we use two external power supplies. So DAC module and server module are not connected electrically. From electromagnetic point of view, they behave like two devices.
Okay, great. And of course, these are the Gershman acoustic speakers that always sound great at these shows. So this is a Soda turntable with a Origin Live arm on it. Gold Note phono.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the ports.
Okay, we've got a acoustic signature Hurricane Neo. And an Orderphon Verismo. And a Sutherland phono stage. Which phono stage is that?
It's a TZ Direct. It's $8,500.
And this is Mr. Sutherland himself.
Good morning.
Looking healthy
Well, I'm hanging in there.
and happy.
Yeah, that
Good.
too. Miss my dog, but other than that, doing fine.
Good. Good. And are you happy with the sound in this room?
Yeah.
What speakers are these?
Sonar.
Sonar. Where are they made?
Made in USA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the owner of that company's out in the hall, and he'll be glad to talk to you about that. He's really done a nice job with the setup and everything. So.
Okay. Let's sit down for a minute.
There's a smaller model here too, and I said, let's get the small ones in there because they sound incredibly big and spacious also.
Look, they have price points too. That's good. That's always good to do that. This is the very famous Matthew Bond, who's been in this business for a very long time. He's one of the premier cable manufacturers and cable designers in our industry. And that's the truth. And are these all your cables, I assume?
Yes. So this is speaker cables. They're ribbon design.
Very nice.
Hi there. Sorry. Verteray turntable. All I can do is
isolation and the acoustic treatment. Beautiful, I like it.
don't believe a word he says.
No, not at all.
Like these things? Don't work. I use them, but they don't work. So tell me about your new...
Okay, here's what I want to tell you about. Okay, new rack, and if you have the 4-post, not the double wide,
yeah,
it'll handle 1,000 pounds. Okay, now it's all stainless steel, no aluminum anymore. Okay, that's stainless steel that you just heard. Okay, deader than a doornail. So continuously adjustable, both this way and this way. You can put 4 half-size chassis in there if I wanted to, and everything like that. You can slide on our rails anywhere you want the foot, and it's just our state-of-the-art rack. The feet, like we're using under the rockports.
Yep.
These were designed for rockports, but you'll see them on the Escalons downstairs. You'll see them on a big kite. 5 out of the top 10 speakers in the world have our feet on them.
Okay.
Okay, and those are the same feet on the bottom line.
And what is the retail price of this double rack here?
Yes, it's right here, $64,000.
Wow.
Okay, that's with all the 6s and everything. It's fully dialed.
That's not with the equipment in the racks, though.
No.
Just for the rack.
Just for the rack.
Okay.
$64,000. Yep.
There's a game show named after that. The
Yeah.
$64,000 rack.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the $64,000 question. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Okay.
So another new product that we're running is right here. It's our AC rectifier. So RF is a problem in all systems. So what we did is we designed a device. It has a neutral, ground, positive, okay, and ERS sleeving, okay. So I can trim the RF factor, okay, and which is, by the way, is really trimming the spatiality factor.
Through the air, you're saying?
Yeah, through the air. So it trims the spatiality. And for example, in this system,
Sounds like voodoo to me.
it is.
Okay.
But we're really good at voodoo.
Okay.
But anyway, on this one, we have 2 bare and just 1 sleeve on the white. Okay? And that's what gave us the spatiality and treatment.
So what's that plugged into?
It's plugged into the here's the power cable coming
Okay.
in. It just plugs right in.
Oh, I see.
Just intersects it. Grabs it too.
That's what does that cost? $63,000?
No, that's only six.
6,000?
600.
600. I like that better.
Cable standoffs with isolation. Okay.
Interesting.
And what makes it even nicer?
They're free?
No, but look at this. See, we can put an extension on them. So if you look right back here, Michael. See how we have an extension on this one underneath the power cord right there?
That's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
so we
that's a
can
good
make
point.
these like I'm a big advocate of a single point on a speaker wire.
Yep.
Okay. So I can make this high enough. I can put those pillars in until it's high enough to.
Oh, I see. It's a riser.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool thing. That is a cool thing. Is that all you have?
Pardon me?
Is that all you have?
Well, I wanted to show you this. This is not us, but I wanted to show you this.
Yeah, I've seen this turntable.
Okay. Well, let me explain what he's done, and it's kind of cool. So I can start, and he's improved design. I can start this with a single motor and the arm at $2,500. I can upgrade it to the three motor. The three motor with the arm is $5,500. I can add a torque base to it. Okay, this is a torque control. So
Right.
like when you're drawing a ciabatta through a mono groove,
Yeah.
you need higher torque.
Okay.
Not different speed, but higher torque.
Right.
So that's the torque control. And I can add vacuum to it. So I can take that $2,500 turntable to a $10,000 turntable.
Cool. Yes, of course I do.
Okay. Well, viola is, if you want to start, when I was first in the industry, I handled Mark Levinson. His designers were John Curl, Tom Clayagan, and Paul Jason.
Right.
Then he folded to Levinson, he formed cello.
Right.
His designer, he lost John, but his designers were Paul, Jason, and Tom Clayagan.
Right.
When Mark folded cello, they formed Viola Labs without Mark. That's
Right.
who it is, okay? But what's really remarkable about it, there's Paul, by the way.
Hey there.
Okay, what's really remarkable, take this. This is a standard.
You giving me that?
Huh?
You just said take this. You give me that?
You take this information. But
Okay. You gotta be very careful what you say to me.
20 years ago, the first preamp Viola built was the Spirit, okay? And the Spirit had plug-in boards like the cello stuff, okay?
Right.
Well, there's not parts available for that 20-year-old piece, so what Paul did is he divides new boards that can plug into that 20-year-old preamp that are better than his new preamp.
Oh.
So how's that for updating?
That's really cool. And what does it cost to update a board like that?
What?
The price sheets I got over here.
Oh. That was a very concise and quick history of the various companies, and I appreciate that. And I think some of the younger viewers will appreciate that quick history. And so this is a preamplifier board?
Yeah, this is the output module. It's a fully balanced input to output. This is the input module.
Oh, I see. So you need one of each.
Yeah, well, there's 10 slots in it, so you could put a couple output modules, a couple input
Right.
modules, and you can route to, like if you have.
So this is what's in here?
No, this is the older.
That's the older.
This is integrated.
So this is an integrated amplifier.
Yeah, and what's beautiful about
And what does that cost?
$29,700.
Oh, it's up on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, but
anyway,
just
what's
tell
neat
me.
about
Just 29. Okay.
$29,700 I run with this
Okay.
thing. It has a plug-in DAC board. For $2,500, you can plug a DAC into it. It has a phono board that goes full moving coil. For $2,500, you can plug it in.
Oh, that's good.
What's really beautiful is 5 years down the road, you can get the new DAC board and plug a whole updated DAC into it.
Yeah, module is cool, man.
Yeah,
Module
it
is
really
good.
is. So, but we love them. You know,
Okay.
great stuff.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you,
very
Bruce.
much.
You were rapid and to the point, and I appreciate that.
You got it.
Okay.
Thank you, Michael.
This is always a room worth visiting. They always get great sound out of these little speakers. It's fantastic. And he's getting it here too.
We are playing right now vinyl with the Pure Fidelity turntable with the Stratus cartridge.
All right, and what else we got here that you're showing?
PH 9.0 XT. The T is the tube rectified power supply. The preamp is new. The LS99 is based on our reference LS300, but it's $4,500 less. It's not dual mono. It's in a more compact form factor like the Phono Stage. The amplifiers are prototypes, the KWA99 Class A MOSFETs, 100 watts.
Oh.
And they are $7,500.
Whoa. That's a value package.
Absolutely. That's the intention of this whole product line, is compact form factor, high value, high performance at a reasonable price.
Fantastic. All right, that's it. I gotta keep moving.
I'm sure you'll probably be aware of the LP12. It's now been 50 years in production. Anything that bears the Climax label at the front of it is the best ultimate performance that we can do for now. So our Climax range is no holds barred when it comes to build quality and performance. Beneath it is its digital counterpart, the Climax DSM, which is our flagship streaming preamplifier.
Okay, so Charles, we have had some conversations on my website after I posted a review of some cavitation things, and there are people saying that the water doesn't have a charge and all the things that you claim. You've seen those.
Oh yeah, I've seen that a lot, and you and I have shared a lot of technical information about distilled water, deionized water, all sorts of water.
Okay.
And obviously this gentleman next to me here, I thought of you today. Okay. Not coming for me, it's better to speak to someone that's a chemist, chemical engineer, that knows the zeros and the ones to perhaps explain to your audience the ins and outs of water.
And you're also an audiophile and a record guy? Okay, and you've used this process?
He's demonstrated it for me. I haven't bought one yet.
Okay, so that's good because you haven't purchased, you have no skin in the game. So when he talks about changing the charge of a record, this is a legitimate thing? Change the charge of the...
Absolutely. And he's using an ionizing agent, which essentially puts electrical charge on whatever he's spraying it on, and he's making it positive. Water's negative. Opposite charge is
water negative?
Because it just is. I mean, water is negative. If it doesn't have contaminants in it, it's negative.
Okay. And so by putting
water is a dipole atom or molecule. It has an oxygen and two hydrogens.
Right.
The hydrogens are negative. The oxygen is positive.
Okay.
And so it's two hydrogens, one oxygen. That makes it negative.
So by putting his ionizer on there, it changes the charge of
the record.
So the water is attracted to the record.
Right.
But it's not a surfactant.
No, it is not.
That's the big issue that people.
Well, what happens is if the record is negative and vinyl's negative, and the water's negative, then they repel each other because like charges repel.
Sure. That much he's explained. And then
and because of that, the water, when it gets really close and you want it to get into the grooves, it's getting too close and it's repelling too much, so it doesn't go in the grooves.
And that's different than a surfactant.
Yes, a surfactant is a chemical that is positive on one side and negative on the other.
And so when that gets to a record, what does that do?
What it does is surfactant is another word for soap.
Okay.
And what a soap does is it dissolves the oil and the dirt on one side and the water on the other. So it carries it around. It allows it to be dissolved in the water.
Okay.
But if the water can't get in, it's still not going to get that dirt.
Okay. And his process doesn't use any surfactant.
No.
And it still manages to clean the record.
It cleans the
and
record.
How does it remove oils?
What it's doing is it's using the ultrasonic process, the cavitation. That's what's softening up the oils, and then they get removed when he wipes them off after they've been softened up and raised up from underneath the base of the grooves in the record.
I see.
Part of the problem is the grooves in the record are very small. They're
Right.
like 5 to 40 microns.
Right.
A bubble of water is about 100 microns. So it can't get in the groove unless there's an attraction. It definitely doesn't get in the groove if they're repelling each other.
Right. And just a surfactant is not going to accomplish getting it into the groove.
It's not going to accomplish it because the water is still negative.
That's right. So that's the big issue. And he beats us over the head over that, and he's correct to beat us over that. And no one else is doing that as far as
I know.
Right.
The other thing he's doing, which I thought was very interesting, is anytime you create waves, and ultrasonic is essentially high frequency waves.
Right.
When waves are created close to each other, they interact with each other. That's called interference.
Right.
When the waves are in phase, waves are sine waves.
Sure, yep.
So when they're in phase, then the sine waves add together, and the wave gets twice as strong. Right. But when they're out of phase, 180 degrees out of phase, they cancel each other,
like sound.
and you get nothing.
Right.
And because of that, if you don't vary the frequency, you get high cleaning and sometimes damage, and no cleaning at all in different areas.
Got you. So he's trying to balance it out.
So he's changing the frequency to make those things move around.
How do you
resonance?
The resonance.
Using air pressure as the resonance factor, so that when we do the aluminum foil test, you don't have high pockets of energy.
Right.
And when you use the cavitation meters, I have 810 cabins from bottom level to top, and from left to right, nice and even.
Okay.
So the test equipment also verifies the test with the foil.
Which is another way of saying that the energy being get to the record is even through the whole thing.
Right. Now, what is your opinion of drinking reverse osmosis water?
Oh, reverse osmosis water is great for drinking. It's not necessarily the best for this, because reverse osmosis does not necessarily take out dissolved minerals.
Takes out some.
It takes some out, not others.
Yeah.
The problem with dissolved minerals is when the water evaporates, the minerals stay behind.
Right. So is the distilled water better?
Distilled water, by distilling it, what you're doing is you're boiling the water, so all the minerals stay behind.
Right. So that's
so
better.
there are no minerals in there.
Right.
The reason you don't use distilled water for drinking is the minerals make the water taste good.
Right.
So drinking water, even if they deionize or distill it, if they want it for drinking, they will add minerals back into it.
Right. But people are saying on my site, you should not drink reverse osmosis water. It's bad for you.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah. Well, that's the argument, but I don't buy it either.
I mean,
I'd say it's not good for coffee because the minerals in the water bind somehow to the coffee and give you the flavor.
They may a little bit, but if you drink distilled water, your drinking water is essentially no minerals in it.
Right.
And it tastes very flat.
Right. And reverse osmosis, there's still some minerals in it.
There's still some minerals in it. Some people are making reverse osmosis water, though, add minerals in it afterwards.
So Aquafina is no minerals added. Dasani is minerals added.
Right.
I know that.
Okay. So which is telling you that they recognize that you need some minerals.
Right.
Yeah. And in my process, I need the ions for the bipolar ionizing agent to hook onto the plastic and hook onto the water, so the deionized water doesn't work.
Okay, this has been great. Now I got to get to the airport. So, thank you very much for explaining that.
Okay.
Since do we have proof that you're really a chemist? No, I believe it.
Chemical engineer. I
believe
graduated from Northwestern University.
I believe it.
And,
we believe you. Okay, thank you very much for doing this. I appreciate it.